Твое тело должно умереть так же, как и старое.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't.
I got to see this movie at the Alamo screening last week, which was great. It was a really cool event, early screening of it. Now I'm curious. Do you guys generally have a lot of ideas for movies that kind of like you're just getting to now, and with each just going through each one? Was this one of those ideas that kind of you had before you even talked to me?
It was made written at the same time as Talk to Me. So by the time that we were on set for Talk to Me, we had a draft of Bring Her Back that
Okay.
we were super excited about, and we were gonna like move on to Talk to Me 2 or onto an action film, an IP film, but it was still at the back of my mind. Well, it was just sort of like I don't think I can move on without making this or expressing this, and it's just something that you just like have to do. I'll be thinking about that while on the sets of these other productions, so it just felt right to make it next.
Yeah. And this is also, I mean, it's sort of smaller, I guess, because you have one location, but you have this amazing house, which I'm not even sure how you found or you built or whatever. I mean, it's an amazing location for this. So is that something you found even while you were writing it, or?
Yeah, well, it was like in the location scouting time. It was sort of like trying to find a house where the pool was at the heart of the house, and it was visible from every window. And so like that was I like we found an amazing location that was luckily in a valley, so the sun set at a certain time, and we had extra time to shoot the rain sequences where there was no sunlight.
Yeah,
and it felt overcast.
And it's interesting because in a way it is a smaller movie, but then in a lot of ways it's bigger. Like logistically, the rain, light, prosthetics. There's so many things in this movie that are so complicated you wouldn't even realize take so much more time. So that was an interesting thing that the rain alone is this. There'll be no rain in the next movie.
Can you control that? Is that in Australia? I assume just it rains whenever it wants to, right? It's not like,
Yeah. When it's knocked on their door, like, yeah, we need some rain.
It's a rain on it.
No,
Yeah.
it was. We had rain rigs that were set up everywhere, but what was difficult about it is you can't block out the sun. Like we didn't have the budget to like create these like scrims or anything to block out the sun, so it was sort of like you were just battling it constantly for those.
And because you're shooting on location, we get these big rain rigs. The whole like location was muddy. So the second half of the shoot was it was like muddy trenches.
It felt like- yeah,
to
like
get
a
the
war film.
set, yeah.
yeah. What I really liked about the movie is it really mixes subgenres. It's not like, oh, is this a possession movie? Is this a cult or witchcraft? Or it's like so many different things, and you kind of like as you watch it, you go like, oh, it kind of and even zombies is part of it too. Is that when you guys were writing this, was that kind of like part of the appeal to kind of be able to cover a bunch of different horror subgenres in one movie?
Yeah, I think I just naturally was happening in the writing. It wasn't something that we went into like wanting to mix a whole bunch of different genres. It just naturally happened in the writing process and the scenes that were coming out. Uh, yeah, not intentional, but like we don't mind blending subgenres and genres, like even jumping between comedy and drama with this film as well. Yeah, I like that it could exist and be a bunch of different things.
Yeah. But it also makes it harder to write about because obviously you don't want to spoil things, but there's, some people you can't just say, hey, it's a horror movie, go see it. You gotta like,
Yeah.
There's some people that I saw it that did screenings that weren't horror fans, and they were saying I would never watch this from like, hearing that it's a horror film. I would never go in and watch this, but I got so much more from it emotionally that I really like this movie, but not because it's a horror film, but because of the drama aspect of the emotional side of it.
But it really goes hard. I mean, the practical effects you guys did. I mean, this is like Bava level gore at times. It's really, I mean, really like not the best thing to watch at the Alamo while you're eating, but still.
Well, it's always a fun part of the task is trying to find a way to execute these scenes practically, trying to create something visually that you haven't seen before, and making sure, especially like with the body horror, that it's tying into theme and it's tying into character, but again, not being afraid to go there. And I like that if you go to one of our films, like I want it to feel a little bit dangerous or a little bit more raw than like a normal polished studio horror film. Like I want there to be a certain edge to it as well. So like, it's very fun to try and find a way to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you knew, but I think you probably knew that there was a secret screening yesterday in a lot of the theaters, and I kind of wish I was there for that one because I feel like people would be people experiencing not knowing what to expect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did it. We went and did an in-person intro to one of those last night, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm very interested to know how people reacted.
Yeah. We have to talk about the casting. Obviously, Sally Hawkins. I mean, she's a no-brainer. I mean, the best actress in the world, I would say. But how about casting all these kids? Because you have I know Billy has done some stuff before. I don't know about John. I think Sora. This is her first movie ever, first anything.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
literally because we went out to a bunch of different vision impaired and non-sighted schools, and we're like trying to find actual vision impaired girls that were interested in acting. And Sora came in, and she's just a school student, and she was 12 years old, and she hadn't been in a movie before. She was sort of interested in the idea of acting, and we did this improv scene, and she blew us away. And with acting, like you've either got it or you don't. And if you've got it and the spark is there, like you can nurture that and you can grow that and you can surround her with people that can help, like bring out the best in her and the best performance. And so that was like about like designing the schedule so that the heavier scenes were at the end of the schedule, and it started off really light so she could really get comfortable with the cameras, get comfortable with the crew, get comfortable with herself and the character, and then allowing her to sort of flourish as the
Yeah, she had a massive transformation from the beginning of the movie to the end. Was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible to watch.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, I'm in the Critics' Choice, and we have a Young Actors Award, and I think she's in my top three so far. So
So Sora, we love that, and she just brings like an authenticity to the role, and it's like telling the kids that like there's no such thing as a bad take or a bad performance. Like you don't have to worry about letting us down or being crap. It's like it just isn't like that. Like just be comfortable and be free to express yourselves, and yeah, that was just a part of that process and working with them, getting them comfortable.
and how do you find Jonah too? Because you really put him through the ringer, and it's really I think you kind of that's kind of become your MO, like putting kids through the ringer in your movies. Like really. I don't know if you're gonna have trouble finding more young actors after these two movies, but
Yeah, no. So he did an audition and he was incredible. And it was a non-speaking thing, and we sent his parents the script, and he really wanted to do it. He was really excited by it. And he'd been a lead in a film before, and he's a Muay Thai fighter. We funnily like he's had 3 fights. This kid's 10 years old. He's had 3 fights. And he's an actor and he's a musician, and so he's very physical, and he wanted to do everything himself. There was a chance, for this towards the end with the bigger prosthetics because there's a transformation with his character. We said we can get a different actor to do that stuff because there's going to be longer hours in the prosthetics, but he wanted to do it. Like he wanted to do it all raw and natural. We're so proud of Jonah because he such a physical performance, and he knocked it out of the park.
And then, but it was also like there were times like once we started getting to those heavy prosthetics, like we're just having those meetings and being like, there's a chance that he doesn't want to continue in doing it, so we just had to have like backup plans and fallback plans, but we never had to pull the trigger on them because he kept coming back,
Smiling, like ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Incredible.
So
he is incredible.
He is.
were his parents on set also? Were they watching all this whole thing and seeing?
They were.
They were like freaking out.
No, they were having fun with that, and like both his parents are actors, so they helped him sort of like create his performance and find his rhythm.
And the scenes that are the most like difficult to watch, they're the most fun to film. Like on set, that's the funnest days is the gore and that stuff. So we were all having a blast doing it. And you know what was awesome? It was awesome bringing them all out with their families to watch the movie, experience Los Angeles, and just having fun with everyone. That was the most rewarding thing at the end.
Yeah,
because everyone worked hard, and now to kind of celebrate. And
especially Sora, like a vision impaired girl that didn't think that she could pull this thing off, like in Hollywood, having an audience applause her was like, and her parents looking up so proud at her. It was like a really magical moment.
Are any of the kids doing press also, or are they kind of like you're just doing most of yourself?
No, we did a few days with them.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So they came for the premiere. We did a few days press with them. And then they recently just went back, 2 days ago, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few days
Well,
ago.
Sora wants to come again to the city premiere. She's like, I want to see it again. Like, so she's like going again with her family.
Yeah. So we've been doing some stuff for them. It's awesome. So it's fun when we get everyone together. It's awesome. So much fun.
Yeah. And Sally Hawkins, you have her playing probably the most evil she's ever played ever. I mean, Sally, I met her. She's the sweetest person in the world. So this shows what a real actress she is because she can play such a despicable character. But what made you think of her and have her for this role?
I mean, just like the way that she's able to transform with every role that she does. Like you look at her in all these different films, like you look at her in Blue Jasmine or Eternal Beauty or Paddington, she plays a completely different person every single time. And so like the idea of like, and she has yeah, she's got this instant warmth and she feels very maternal and she's so lovely. And it's sort of like, what if you use those parts of a character, but like pull them into this sort of like a darker place. So she's playing this maternal, like happy thing and some like thing.
She was that before this loss. So she was the first person on our list. And she read the script and loved it. And so we didn't even speak to anybody else.
Yeah, it was just straight
yeah,
Sally.
and yeah, the thing that's awesome about her, she attacks it from a human place. And that's the character. It's not an outright evil character, but she's been driven to this and she's losing her sanity. And Sally was perfect.
Because she didn't read the script. Like she wasn't like going out to her agents and being like, I want to be in a genre film, like find me a genre film. She read the script and was looking at it from a character level and connected to it from there. And yeah, she was incredible.
Yeah. Just before seeing this last week, I found the copy of Fangoria with the Talk to Me cover. I just happened to I hadn't read it. I missed it. So I just happened to be reading it right before seeing this movie. And I was really fascinated by the fact you guys worked on Babadook, like whatever, 10 years ago or whatever it was. What do you get away from working with Jennifer that you brought your own career as filmmakers? I'm curious.
She was the first. So before we did, because we come from YouTube, before we did YouTube, we would crew on films and just ask to be on set. Like, we'll work for free. And so people would allow us on set and we worked with all these different departments. The Babadook was the first paid film that I got. And Danny you were work experience.
I was work experience.
He didn't get paid.
I did.
But it was amazing because it was the first time I'd seen a director care so much about what she was making. The passion is so raw and real. And even every day after set, she'd go home and you'd see her walls were covered in, the storyboards and thinking about the next thing. Like she just cared that much. I knew it wasn't going to be bad because she was so passionate about it. And I love that. That's the energy that we brought to, because a few of the film sets we had been on before that was just, it felt like just a job to people. It's just a job, but it's not a job to people that are true artists like Jennifer Kent. It's a real thing. So experiencing that on set was so amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
I second that.
Yeah. Before I let you guys go, I mean, at the very beginning of this, you mentioned Talk to Me Too. Have you been getting a lot of like pressure either on yourself or from others to make another movie, or have you always had another idea that you wanted to explore there?
Well, for Talk to Me Too, like we do have two drafts of two different versions of the script. So there's following two different sets of characters based in two different places, and then we'd signed the contract to make that next. And but A24 luckily I was like, I really want to make this film next. So I know it's like smaller, it's a smaller film, but they were all on board and they allowed us to do it. So I'm very grateful.
Great. You see, you found great partners in A24. You found they found these directors who make the crazy kind of movies they like releasing, which is great. So
yeah, we feel so blessed.
We love
A24.
We love them. We're always pinching ourselves because A24 is the best. We've always admired them. And they're so artist friendly. All the stuff that we want to do, they want to be involved with, which is incredible. And they're as hands off or as hands on as we want them to be. They're just amazing, supportive, awesome people. They're incredible.